What is going on? What is going on? We are back. It is Saturday, excuse me. My bad. Saturday, May 24th, 2024. 5/24/24. It's a lot of 24s. So, not only are we live right now, but it is also Memorial Day weekend. And before I begin, I am Julien Stoutt. I am a licensed personal trainer, licensed PE teacher, world record powerlifter, special education teacher, here to take the fear out of fitness. We're about to take off in classes in session. It's Memorial Day weekend, and this weekend is not for the veterans. This is for the people we have lost in the many wars we have had since the inception of the United States of America, from the War of Independence all the way up to the Afghanistan conflict that recently ended about almost 4 years ago. So when you guys are celebrating this weekend, I don't want you to go and say Happy Memorial Day to a veteran because it's annoying to us. It's not for us. Veterans Day is in November. That is for us. That is for us, the people who have served and continue to either serve or continue to live in this country as a veteran of the United States Armed Forces. But here's the deal. You see the title in the thumbnail, and it is what you see. Everybody hates Cait. Now, Caitlin Clark just recently went to the NCAA Women's Championship for the first time. She was in the Final Four for the second time in a row. 4 years ago, I remember when I first saw this young lady shooting from the parking lot. I was saying to my brother, wow, if that girl shoots like that now, it's going to be awful if she decides to continue in college. Women usually stay in college all 4 years on average, and then proceed to join the WNBA or play overseas. We knew she was going to the WNBA. We just knew it. Everybody knew it because the woman is shooting like Steph Curry. So, and Steph Curry is the person in the men's game who revolutionized the NBA because now everybody's shooting threes. You know why? Because the math is mathing. If somebody can shoot 43% from three-point range, 38% from 25 feet and beyond, he shoots league average from 27 feet. I know this isn't about Steph, but he shoots league average from 27 feet up until I believe 60 feet. He shoots league average. When he's closer to the three-point line, he shoots 43% and beyond. And you now have the embodiment of Steph Curry in a woman. Whether she be white, black, green, yellow, Hispanic, doesn't matter. It's Steph Curry in female form. What do you think was going to happen? How do you think things was going to go when you saw this girl in YouTube videos and Instagram videos and Facebook reels shooting from the parking lot? What did you think was going to happen? You thought it was just going to be like, oh, she's just going to disappear and go away? Come on now. Let's be for real. Now, that is the new evolution of the women's game, or the soon-to-be new revolution of the women's game. The problem is, this is the problem that I'm starting to run into right now, and I'm starting to have a little bit of a problem with it. I did a video about a month ago on, fat bastard Jason Whitlock, basically diminishing Simone Biles to boost Caitlin Clark. Now, I've had people come at me talking about I'm making it about race. I'm not making it about race. Jason Whitlock was the one who was making it about race. I think Caitlin Clark is phenomenal from what I've seen her in college. Now, She hasn't had a great start to her WNBA career, but that's going to change over time, especially when they strategize, when they decide how they're going to implement her better, how they're going to put her into the fold of the Indiana Fever. They're going to build the team around her. And eventually, she will have what she needs to be greater than she is at the moment. I will go over her accolades here in a minute, but that's not the point. I did not make it about race. Jason Whitlock did, because he chose to diminish an accomplished black woman to uplift the fame of a white one. And he's playing to the crowds of those people that he sold dances and soft shoes for to earn the little bit of crumbs that he gets. I'm not with the shits. I'm just not. I'm not the person that's going to sit here and allow people to denigrate a black woman just for the sake of a white one. But at the same time, I also made the argument that Jason Whitlock is also diminishing Caitlin Clark, because if he felt the need to diminish a black woman to uplift her, it is to suggest that she herself needs uplifting. And she does not. The woman is dope. Like I said, she's shooting from the freeway when she's hooping. How many of you can do what she does? Male or female? How many of y'all can actually shoot like she does? I can name probably 3 people, 4, that can legitimately shoot from that distance with that level of accuracy if they're either allowed to, or have they still been playing at this point in time. Here we go. Actually it'd be 5. Sabrina Ionescu, Steph Curry, Trae Young, Caitlin Clark, and Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. I'm convinced that those are the 5 people that can literally pull up from the parking lot. Right? And the point is, yes, she has the highest salary in WNBA history coming out of college. But what does that mean for everybody else? What it means for everybody else is that now you have a foundation to make an argument for. Because if she's making, I don't even know what she's making right now, but let's say she's making $2 million, because I know the average WNBA salary is like $175,000 or something like that. But let's say that she's making over $2 million. Do you know what that means when you are A'ja Wilson? Oh yeah, I forgot about Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard is another one that can shoot from the parking lot. So that's 6 people. And you have these people who can make an argument now to say, check this out. This chick is making $2 million a season. I am the WNBA champion right now. I am the 3-time WNBA champion, and my contract is up today. Pay me, because I'm better than Caitlin Clark as of right now. Right? So now A'ja Wilson gets her money. Sabrina Ionescu gets her money. Brittany, what's her name? Breanna Stewart is her name, my bad. Breanna Stewart can ask for her money. Brittany Griner could ask for her money. Kelsey Mitchell could ask for her money. Kelsey Plum could ask for her money. Jackie Young could ask for her money. These are all women that can go to other teams requesting more money because their numbers are equivalent to, if not better than, Caitlin Clark's. But because we are not looking at it from a business standpoint, we're quick to turn around and point out that the quote-unquote white girl is getting all the money. Y'all are acting like, then on the other side of the spectrum, white America is acting like Caitlin Clark is the only white woman in the WNBA that can ball. Correct me if I'm wrong. Are we that blind that we don't know the white women that played in the WNBA and legitimately were ballers? Diana Taurasi, who's still playing. Sue Bird, who just recently retired. Rebecca Lobo. I just named like 3 other white women. Courtney Vandersnoot is another one. Who else? Ellie Deladon. You have the new girls that just got drafted right behind Caitlin Clark. Brittany something, I forget her name. She just got drafted. These are women who can ball, right? So this is not like, oh, she's like the first white woman that could ball. She's not even the Larry Bird of the WNBA. She's not. She's dope. Again, please don't misunderstand me. She's dope. But she's not like how people talk about Larry Bird in the NBA. Caitlin Clark is not there yet. Make no mistake about it. I believe she's going to be. But I would say the person that can call her moves and tell you what she's going to do before she does it and kills, you know, as a white woman, I would probably say it's Sabrina Ionescu right now. That woman can shoot. She just went up against Steph Curry in a 3-point shootout contest, male versus female, and actually came close. Had Steph Curry missed a couple more shots, it would have been a nail biter. It was a nail biter. I think he won by 3 shots. So it's not like she's trash. So everybody saw what Caitlin Clark was doing for the last 4 years. They want to see it now in the WNBA because they are already doing it in the NBA. Now, I'm a put you all in a little bit of game, and I'm going to jump off and point out that the next big hype is not the next big 3-point shooter. It's the woman that's going to be dunking on people like Jordan, like Anthony Edwards, like Dominique Wilkins, dunking on him like Shaq, dunking on him like Kobe. That's the next female. That's going the female that got bunnies. That's when you're going to see the WNBA take completely off. Now, yes, we have Candace Parker, who just recently retired, who was able to dunk. I want to say used to. I don't know if she still can or not, but who was dunking in game. Shamika Holdsclaw was another one who was dunking in game, but she wasn't dunking on females. She wasn't chest to chest in midair banging on chicks. When we see that female come out, ooh, it's gonna be ugly. You're gonna start seeing. You're gonna forget Caitlin Clark exists, and the funny part is that's probably gonna be around the same time Caitlin Clark is going to ascend herself to the upper echelons of the WNBA, the current WNBA. But why am I getting into this? Because recently on The View, this was the conversation that was being had at the time. So let's play it.
Well, let's talk about Caitlin Clark, because she's the breakout star of the WNBA right now with the highest salary in league history. Yeah. And a $28 million endorsement deal from Nike. And in a new article in the LA Times about her success, sports journalist Jamel Hill.
That is a hard one, though. Every time I say her name, it's a hard.
My lips just failed. I felt them start and then, It was like real. So let me try it again. Jamel Hill compares Clark to Steph Curry for being relatable to fans, but claims the fact that she's a straight white woman plays a big role in the hype around her.
So, okay, Jamel Hill compared to Steph Curry. Accurate. Very accurate. But they're playing on the fact that because she's a white woman that she is getting a lot more favor. Okay. She has a $28 million deal with Nike, which is probably the biggest shoe deal or biggest deal for a female in WNBA history, right? She hasn't even really put ball down to hardwood in the WNBA yet, and she's already got 20 some odd $1 million in the bank, right? Fine. But you already seen what the woman can do in college. It's not like LeBron, who got a $100 million contract, a $92 million contract, and he was coming out of high school. Now, granted, coming out of high school, he was 6'8", 250 pounds. He was NBA ready, physically, already coming out of high school. It wasn't going to do him any good to show his skills in college. He was not going to win in an NCAA championship over, say, Kentucky or Duke or North Carolina, unless that's one of the schools he chose. But he would have been clearly one of the best players in college. So why wait? But traditionally with women go to college and play basketball there to showcase their full run of skills. But last time I checked, 66% of this country is white. Last I checked. What do you think is going to happen? She's white. Not from a racial standpoint, but from I see me in her standpoint. Not me personally, but as a white person, I see me in her standpoint. Who do you think is going to want to watch her now? Who do you think they're going to point to? Who do you think these white dads are going to point to their daughters to look at? Who also, Caitlin Clark has no history of drama, no history. And when I say drama, I'm talking about like problems with her personal life. Who do you think they're going to point to say, be like her? They're going to do that. We, as black people, we also point to our Candace Parkers, our Maya Moores, our Asia Wilsons, to be like them. Right? We point to them. So, what's the problem? There's more of them there than there are us. So, what's the problem? I don't see a problem with her being white, and it's not like she's okay. What's that lady's name? What's that WNBA player's Cambage? Okay, what's her name? She's been known to. What's her name? Real quick, I'm gonna look her up. Nope. That's Cambridge. Liz Cambage, right? Liz Cambage is a very good-looking woman. But she's also 6'8", 216 pounds. Actually, she's 6'9", right? She's got model looks. Guys who watch her are clearly looking at her. But she's not an all-star. She's pretty, and I don't know if she's straight or not. I don't even care. That doesn't matter. But as a guy, we see her. Right? But this whole notion as though Caitlin Clark is like using her whiteness to gain favor, that's not what's happening. But I'll go one step further in a minute.
The numbers that she puts on the scoreboard. So I want to point something out. She is the NCAA's all-time leading scorer of men and women. In February, she broke the women's record. In March, she broke Pistol Pete Maravich's 3,667-point record. She's had more 30-point games than anyone in the past 25 years.
Yeah.
Okay? She holds a single season 3-point record for women. She's the Big Ten's all-time leader in assists. Now listen, you know, when people say stuff like that, that's like people saying, oh, you only got into this Ivy League college because you're black, or you only got this.
Exactly. Thank you, Whoopi. Appreciate it. Because you're diminishing her accomplishments. It's not like this woman only scored 2 points a game and now she's getting a $28 million deal from Nike. Then we might have something to say about that. But this woman is, like I said, this woman is shooting out the parking lot. But all of a sudden it's because she's white. No. If you were watching her, like some of you sportscasters should have been watching her, you would see the girl could play. She's not garbage. I've watched full games of her play. Not in the WNBA yet, but in college. I've watched full games. She's not trash. I can't shoot like that. You can't shoot like that. You can't score like that. Male or female. You go, I challenge most of you dudes, go play against WNBA players and see what happens. Outside of you high flyers, go play a regular game and see what you could do. How well you would fare off. Most of y'all wouldn't drop but maybe about 6 or 7 points in a game with women like that. All right? Just keeping it a buck. All right? But yes, as a black person, I would hate for somebody to tell me that I didn't earn the spot that I'm in. I didn't earn the place that I'm in because I'm black. Yes, the WNBA is predominantly black. And here's a white woman coming into the WNBA with a big contract, with all this hype behind her, but it's not for anything less than her accomplishments. We're going to go over her accomplishments here in a minute.
Because of this. This girl earned this. I'm sorry. You know, there are great players.
The all-new go.
Let's mute that. Hold on.
Nobody else has done this. So I'm not mad that they gave her basketball, but I will suggest to Wilson that one of the things they might want to do, Wilson is the people who make the basketball.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure, you know. We could suggest that in, what is the word? To honor the women who play in the WNBA. Maybe they should do a series of balls.
Yeah. Years ago, giving her award essentially to the black women that preceded her, saying although they won 80% of the awards that year, they got less than half of the media coverage. All of those things can be true. I think uniquely with Caitlin Clark, she can.
Yes. They got less coverage because they were playing fundamental basketball. Go look at the NBA. Show me where there is strictly fundamental basketball being played. So when you see Giannis Antetokounmpo jump over a dude getting an alley-oop, when you see Dame Dollar pull up from half court on a two-step pull-up three-pointer from 35 feet over Paul George, waving bye-bye as it goes in to send him home, tell me where that's fundamentally sound basketball. That's not. And people who watch, now I've said this a million times. You put a woman in any sport, she's going to be more fundamentally sound than any man who plays any sport, period. She's going to be more technical. She's going to be more accurate in her precision of movement. She's going to be very well versed in how she's supposed to do what she's supposed to do and when she's supposed to do it. Whereas guys, they'll see, I can jump over this dude. I'm going to jump over this dude. I'm going to shake this dude out his ankles. I'm going to shake this dude out his ankles. I can move this man out the way and then shoot. I'm going to do that. Why am I doing all this fundamental stuff? Why am I setting picks? Why am I getting a pick set for me when I know I could blow by him? Why am I worried about passing the ball to the corner and back to the front and then back to the top and then playing motion offense when I know I can cross this guy up, lose him, get to the basket, work my arms around you in 3 different ways, and then still make the basket? Why am I worried about motion offense? Why am I worried about box defense? Why am I worried about 3-2 defense when I know I can literally, I have lightning quick hands. I can strip you clean, go down the other side of the court because I run at 24 miles an hour, jump freaking 20 feet from the rim and dunk it. Who cares about all of that? Now you have this woman who doesn't care about your offense, about your defense, because if you do not step out past 22 feet to guard her, she's going to shoot it in your face. Now you got to worry about stuff. Now you got to actually guard this woman, right? We want to see that. It's about putting people in the seats. People want to see that. Now, don't get it twisted. How many women go to WNBA games? Y'all are at the NBA games because y'all trying to holler at whomever. Y'all trying to tempt Steph Curry, knowing he's full well he's married with 3 kids. Y'all know y'all trying to go after LeBron James, knowing he full well he's married with 3 kids. Y'all going after PJ Washington. Y'all going after whomever. That's when y'all show up to those games. But I don't see y'all at these WNBA games. I don't see the LGBTQ plus women coming to these WNBA games. But y'all are mad that this woman is getting more coverage for her games than the rest of the WNBA has gotten in the last 24 years. Well, check this out. Did you know that because she's come to the WNBA, Amazon bought rights to the WNBA to play Thursday night? Did you know that? Did you know that they're playing more games on Ion? Do you know that ESPN has more games now? Do you know ABC has more games now? So this is all a snowball effect of what Caitlin Clark is bringing to the WNBA. Like I told you, the next one, I promise you, when the next chick that comes out and she's banging it on chicks, chest to chest, whether it's Liz Cambridge, whether it's Lisa Leslie, I know she's retired, but you'll understand what I'm saying. Whether it's Maya Moore, just jump banging on somebody. And she does it with extreme regularity. Promise you, all that attention is moving and it's going to elevate again because now she's going to come in with the highest rookie contract. And then Caitlin Clark is going to be like, yo, check this out. I'm a champion, maybe. I'm winning games. I'm a huge box office draw for the WNBA and for the Indiana Fever. I deserve more money. And guess what's going to happen? They're going to get more money. And now there's going to be needing of more sponsors. Where are the female products of sponsors willing to fork over money to sponsor for the WNBA? I don't see them. I don't see Secret. I don't see Always. I don't see Tampax. I don't see Massengill, whatever. I don't see any of those products going after WNBA dollars or paying WNBA dollars. But let's continue. Because this is
be reduced to much beyond her statistics because a number is not bias. It just is what it is. But I think that she's also been good about addressing those who came before her. She knows that like Maya Moore, her idol, came before her. She's been very reverent in saying, it was all these women that opened it up and built the sport, and she's taking it a little further.
Maya Moore is her favorite player, a black woman. She fangirls when she saw her, when she spoke to her. Fangirls. This isn't even like, this is a white woman who only associates with white people and only does. This woman has been nothing but respectful to the game. In the field of competition, she can get disrespectful with the whole you can't see me thing, but that's a part of the game. You're supposed to talk trash. Larry Bird was doing it. And when you hear the black players talk about how cold Larry was and what he was doing on the court, as a matter of fact, Larry Bird would get offended if you didn't put a black dude on him. He was like, what? You ain't got no brothers on this team? Oh, okay, let me show you why you need some. And proceed to whoop you. Told Sean Kemp, you the dude that dunked on my little brother? You that dude that took all my records? I got something for you. Proceeded to drop 60 on him. All right? Not because he's a black dude, but because he's a dude that thought he was going to come in and reign over the WNBA. I mean, over the NBA. Nobody makes even the slightest suggestion that Larry Bird is racist. Nobody makes it about race with Larry Bird per se, but yet when Larry Bird and Magic Johnson came to the NBA, they were the ones who boosted it. Because the negative reputation of the NBA prior to that was still in tow. So they elevated the NBA to a level with their competition of each other, which is what we kind of hope with Angel Reese and what's her name? The Brazilian girl. But they're both on the Chicago Sky teams. Maybe in the near future, they're going to be the ones battling for the WNBA titles. And then the viewership is going to go up because guess what? The viewership went up in NCAA games, basketball games. As a matter of fact, they were the most watched games on either gender. So think about that for a minute. It wasn't just because Caitlin Clark was playing. The Angel Reeses was playing. The Cardosos were playing. The Dawn Staleys was coaching. The Dawn Staleys who was playing in the WNBA at one point, who was a multiple-time Olympic champion. She was no joke. The Cheryl Swoops of the world. Problems. These were all women that were problems. But Caitlin Clark knows where it all started from. Just like Larry Bird and Magic Johnson knew where it started from. The Wilt Chamberlains, the Bill Russells, the Pistol Petes. This is where people need to start thinking before they open their mouths and espouse things and make things about race, as opposed to looking at it for what it was. Because like I told you, I didn't make it about race with the Jason Whitlock thing. Jason Whitlock did that himself. And actually, I was trying to shut it down. How dare you do that to either of them? Is my overall take. Especially to those morons that want to turn around and try to talk trash to me in the comment section. Make no mistake about it. If you try to turn around and come for me in these comments, make no mistake, I will roast you. I make no qualms or no issues with doing that.
Also can't be forgotten that she came from Iowa, and I say that not just as a proud Iowan, but Caitlin Clark could have gone to a much better basketball program. She made a deliberate choice to build a program. A lot of times people talk about a GOAT being only if you have rings. Yeah. Caitlin knew going into her choice at Iowa that she was going to be building a program under the tutelage of Coach Bluter, and she took pride in staying home for that. Iowa doesn't have professional teams. We don't get to follow much. So although everyone got on the Caitlin Clark train eventually, Iowa was so thirsty and hungry for a player they could follow and believe in, and you felt like you were a part of it. So that was the beginning of this gusto. LSU, UConn, all these amazing programs. It's like we're back in national, cool. Yeah, we were there last year too. You know, like, so they didn't have quite the same oomph as this Iowa program had, and that's part of the reason Caitlin Clark has also been such a big deal.
Look, I've been a basketball fan since I can remember. I played basketball with my dad in Harlem when I was 5 years old. So I remember loving the game, and the game not necessarily loving women back, right?
At all.
At all. And
Now, I don't know about that. Because if you're a baller, if you've ever hooped and a girl came on the court, you wanted to see what she got. But if she had something, anything worth a damn, you were happy that you had somebody that you could play against. First of all, on my block, there was Mama. Mama was, oh my God. Mama was a problem. Mama would beat her husband in games. And her husband was what, 6'3", 235. We have females in the neighborhood that would bust your you know what. Girls from Monroe High School, Tranya Kelly. We didn't always see eye to eye, but let me tell you, knock your knees together, trying to guard her. The numerous of females that I've encountered hooping that can actually play. Make no mistake about it, we never disrespected them. We didn't disrespect them by treating them like as if they were dainty flowers that are to be, held so delicately. We played. And we played hard. We didn't just simply, oh, she's a girl, let me do this and let me do that. Oh, and Monique. Oh, yeah, Monique was a problem too. Around the way. Forest Avenue. Problem. Well, shoot jimmies in your eye all day. Make you look stupid. If you thought you was, oh, yeah, she's a girl, I'm gonna leave her alone. She'll drop buckets in you. Go ahead. Play yourself for stupid. So while we sitting here, what are you talking about? You didn't get love back. You might not have gotten love back from corporate. You might not have gotten love back from certain parts of society, but make no mistake about it, you got love from the ballers. Cheryl Miller. As a matter of fact, Cheryl Miller is so dope that we used to clown Reggie Miller for not being better than her. And he's an NBA god. He's the top 75 NBA player. And people would make jokes about you're not your sister. So make that make sense. Make that make sense. Since when did we not show love to the women? I mean, maybe back in the 60s, maybe. But once we crossed into the 80s, I promise you, make no mistake about it, we paid attention to who was doing what and who was crossing you up, who was making you look stupid, who was laying up around you, making you just looked stupid. And you got clowned not because she's a girl, you just got clowned because you got gamed. Plain and simple. So I don't necessarily follow this with Sunny real quick. I'm not following this.
the WNBA started in 1996. First games played in 1997. It's 2024, and we're just really now talking about it. And so if Caitlin Clark is the vehicle that will bring this sport that I have loved so much and so long to little 5-year-old girls playing in Harlem, I say yes, bravo. I have no problem with that.
They want to give you.
With that being said, I do think that there is a thing called pretty privilege. There is a thing called white privilege. There is a thing called tall privilege. And we have to acknowledge that.
Wait. Okay. First of all, no disrespect. Caitlin Clark isn't pretty to me. Liz Cambridge is pretty to me. Caitlin Clark is probably average as far as looks are concerned. So there's no pretty privilege there. She's only 6 feet tall. She's 6 feet tall in the WNBA, where there's women who are 6'7", 6'8", 6'9". So there's no tall privilege there. White privilege. Okay, let's play the white privilege game. I am going to play the white privilege game. This would be white privilege if she was only averaging 5 points a game. And white America was screaming to the top of their lungs, what happened to Caitlin Clark? Why can't she get drafted? She needs to be drafted first. Then that would be white privilege. White privilege would be if this girl has no skills whatsoever, has no business being on a WNBA court, and all of a sudden she's getting all of this attention. That's white privilege. To be honest with you, she's earned the privilege. Now I'm going to get into another video. I'm going to stop her right. I'm going to read some of these comments on the bottom here. So people don't idolize black athletes. Jordan, LeBron, Serena. I'm going to see all these names real quick. Tiger Woods, Simone Biles. Exactly. Simone Biles. I don't even know who Mushroom Atume is, but notice who they named. These are all people who we recognize universally as some of the best to ever do it. Right? So yes, I agree. We acting like that there's nobody in the WNBA that's black that we don't hold in high regards. It's just that the nature of the game is so fundamental that nobody cares to watch it. Now we're getting the shot in the arm that we wanted to see. Something from the NBA that is translated to the WNBA, and it happens to be shooting. Okay? That's what's happening. She's popular because she broke every scoring record in NCAA history, period. Thank you. Thank you. I don't see anything wrong with this. Sonny should not be allowed to talk about race unless she pays her reparations. I don't know about all that, whatever that means. I'm a black man, and that report is flat out racist and hates Clark. She needs to leave that young lady alone. Shaking my head. I don't know about hate. I wouldn't say it's hate, but Nate calling it white privilege, pretty privilege, tall privilege. You reaching. That's a whole lot of reaching, Mr. Fantastic. Honestly. Sonny's so weird. How is a straight white woman not considered relatable, but a black lesbian woman is? As Whoopi said, this has nothing to do with skin color or sexuality. This has everything to do with her record, and it definitely speaks for itself. Let's move on and let's show you what we're talking about with Caitlin Clark. Right? Look at this. So right now, to throw a little bit of shade, mildly, she is the leader in turnovers in a debut, which is 10. She is Indiana Fever's single game leader in turnovers. In NCAA Division I, she is the all-time leader in points. Actually, she's kind of not. There's one other black woman that actually has more points than her playing for Kansas, but this was before the modern era of the NCAA. I think both of them should be recognized equally, to be honest with you. But again, all-time leader in points produced. All-time leader in points produced per game, 29.2. Women's all-time leader in field goals made. Women's all-time leader in three-point field goals made. Women's all-time leader in three-point field goals attempted. Women's all-tournament all-time leader in points. Women's tournament all-time leader in assists. Women's all-time tournament leader in three-point field goals made. Women's single season leader in points. Women's single season leader in goals attempted. Women's single season leader in three-point field goals made. Women's single season leader in three-point field goals made per game. This woman made 201 three-point field goals made in one season. I want to note something. Steph Curry has the record in the NBA with 402 three-pointers in a single season, right? They play almost 2/3 less games than the NBA, and she is literally half the three-pointers of Steph Curry. What does that tell you? That if she played 82 games, if she had to play 82 games, I think she might even, dare I say, eclipse Steph Curry in most three-pointers made in a single season. All right? Women's single season leader in field goals attempted. Women's single season leader in three-point field goals made. I already said all of this. Women's tournament single game leader in assists. I wouldn't say single game leader. I would say single series. Single tournament leader in assists. Women's tournament single season leader in three-point field goals made in 9. That's a game. First player in NCAA Division I history to lead their conference in points and assists in 4 consecutive seasons. First player in NCAA Division I history to make 200 three-pointers for their career. First woman in NCAA Division I history to have 3,800 points, 1,000 assists, 950 rebounds during their career. First woman to score 1,000 points in multiple seasons. First woman in NCAA history to lead Division I points in 3 separate seasons. First woman in NCAA history to lead Division I in both points and assists in the same season. So, naming the Candace Parkers, the Maya Moores, the Shamika Holdsclaws, the Sue Birds, the Diana Taurasi's, Cheryl Miller, Cheryl Swoops. I'm forgetting what's her name. Not Cheryl Swoops. Oh, God. She's the Michael Jordan of the WNBA. Let me Google her real quick, because I should know better. Let's see. We're going through the list of women right now. So let's look at all these names that we see here. Nikisha Sales was cold. These are all names of women that were cold. Like, I know were cold. Skylar Diggins Smith. Let's see. Ella Della Don, Shamika Holdsclaw, Elena Baird, Brianna Stewart, Cheryl Swoops, Maya Moore, Brittany Griner, Swin Cash, Delisha Milton-Jones, Becky Hammond, who's coaching now, Candace Parker, Sue Bird, Dewana Bonner, Tina Charles, Tamika Catchings, Tina Thompson, Diana Taurasi. Let's go back, because I got to go. Houston Comets. Because I'm forgetting her. I know I'm forgetting her name right now, and I'm mad as hell that I'm forgetting her name. Cynthia Cooper. That's who I was trying to remember. the big three of the WNBA when it first started. Cynthia Cooper, Cheryl Swoops, and Tina Thompson. These are all women that made the WNBA what it was, right? But why are we trying to hate on Caitlin Clark? Why? Why are we even bringing this up? But anyway, here we go. Here is Becky Hammon, a WNBA legend on multiple fronts now.
We love Caitlin Clark. Yes. There's no... I think she's amazing. I watched every time I possibly could. And our league loves her. This has nothing to do... We're just doing our job. We're going to show up. Who is ever on the other team is on the other team. We don't really care. We're going to show up and do us. And so I think this narrative of like everybody hating on Caitlin Clark and even the black and white thing, knock it off. It's not there.
Amen.
It's not there. So shut down the noise. And by the way, what is she, 22? She's a 22-year-old woman with a lot of pressure.
She's not perfect.
She's not perfect. She's a rookie in this league. Like, back off.
Yeah.
Back
She's learning and growing just like everyone else. I feel like that's what people don't give her a chance. This is growth. We tell our rookies every single day, this is new. You're coming into a whole nother new world and starting over. So it's the questions are only annoying because it's like, she's young. She's a rookie. Y'all keep asking us these questions as if she's a grown-ass woman that's been in this league for years. Like, no, she's doing her job. We're doing ours. And at the end of the day, that's how we grow. Is when we get better and do things like that. So, yeah, I'm just exhausted over the conversation because I know she's exhausted. I can only imagine. So,
and so far as the charters and this and that, I don't care if Kermit the Frog made the change. We've been fighting for this.
Becky over here. But for real, though.
We've been pushing. I mean, I played in this league at 99, and we were traveling the same way. And I'm, like I said, I don't really care who's bringing this or who's bringing the crowds. What I care is that they're there and they're on the eyes and they see how great women's basketball is. That's what I care about, and that's a mic drop. Bye.
Exactly. And I'm going to close that one out.
You know, we want to talk about sort of all things basketball. And Caitlin Clark, phenomenal run. Yep. I saw her the other night, by the way. I saw her the other night in Indy after her, I think it was her second game or third game. But it was the first game against Liberty. They played Liberty Thursday, and they were back here in New York on Saturday. I saw her after the Thursday game very briefly. And, you know, she was just talking about the quick turnaround, which I find to be insane, that they go through this season that starts basically in September. They have all their preseason practices, the games. She does the tournament, gets the national championship game. And then, like, within a month, she's playing in real WNBA games. There's no real off season for her. But the thing I wanted to bring up.
Good point. That's another thing. The woman literally just left college. And she's already playing professional games. The men don't do that. So if we're going to even look at it from a male-female standpoint, the men don't do that. The men finish the season in March. They get the draft in what? A month? They draft in a month. Then in a month, what is it? It'll be middle of June, early July. The draft happens. Then you have August, September, October. They finally get started in October. November is when they really get started. The season starts in November. This woman literally stopped playing college basketball and has to make massive adjustments to the WNBA. And she's actually still shooting the lights out. She's still shooting the lights out. Yeah, she had a 2-for-8 game one night, whatever it was. Michael Jordan didn't have bad games. Larry Bird didn't have bad games. Magic Johnson, Steph Curry didn't have bad games. Knock it off. I personally do not like the fact that this is a racial racial connotation. Because the woman has done what she's done. I'm a world record powerlifter. I dare somebody to say I'm only as strong as I am because I'm black. I worked my ass off for this. I was scrawny. I was skinny. As a child, as a young man, as a young man. When I say young man, I'm talking about in my teenage years. When I was a grown man, I was strong and I was fit. But from child to maybe about 15 years old, I did not have an ounce of muscle really up to 14. I didn't have an ounce of muscle to show for it. Now, am I as big as some of my homies? No, they're bigger than me. But I'm still freakishly strong. There's no denying that. I'm a 47-year-old man deadlifting 400 pounds at 144 pounds in competition. What makes you, I broke records. Do you understand me? Being all natural, I broke records. I want you to understand that how annoying it is to do the things that you did against everybody. You didn't play all white girls. It's not like they played in the all white league and she's now the NCAA leading division scorer. It's not like that's what that is. It's not like all these black women and Hispanic women and every other nationality played in one league and white women played in another. And now they're trying to take this one white girl from this league and then put her all with all these other black and Hispanic women as though she'll be the greatest to ever put on a pair of shoes. And then all of a sudden that's white privilege, people. That is white privilege. This woman is busting everybody's ass in college. But let's keep going because I want y'all to catch all this. I really want y'all to catch this.
Just I don't want to call it hatred, but it's
haterade.
Definitely like a dislike or vitriol.
Yeah.
Coming her way
it's
towards
haterade.
older players.
It's not hate, but it's
look,
haterade.
I think we all experienced that to some degree when we first got in the NBA.
For sure.
Your opponents are not wrapping their arms around you. I had that to a small extent. I was the cocky white kid from Duke, right? You know, I feel like sometimes my teammates hated me. How did you process that? How did you go through that at a young age, coming into the NBA, where the people could have been your teammates, could have been the people you were competing against. They weren't celebrating you.
No, not at all.
They wanted to kick your ass.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean,
as a matter of fact, speaking on LeBron, I know this isn't about LeBron, but LeBron has a little bit of caveat to this. When the man came into the league, his own teammates was like, we don't need him. But then when he got here and started showing everybody who the hell he was and what he could bring to the table, lips got tight real quick. They thought he was going to be a flash in the pan. They thought he was just going to be whatever. But now look at him. The second greatest player to ever play basketball. Sorry, he's not passing Mike. For all y'all young bucks out there, he's not passing Mike. He's just not. And for all y'all millennials who saw Kobe, saw the tail end of Mike's career. So let's even say 98, 2001, 2002. If you saw that version of Mike, let me explain something to you. You still saw the baddest man to ever put a pair of shoes on. To understand that he's only 6'6", jumping over people. Chest to chest with centers. Dunking on them. Instilling fear in entire cities. Entire cities, that man put fear into you. Man, Mike came to town, everybody was like, ooh, I hope he don't drop 50 on us. But let's move past that. But LeBron is that dude. He's one of those dudes. All right? And they hated him. And let's not talk about when he went to Miami, how much they hated him then. But let's keep going.
My teammates, for sure. There's video evidence of my teammates basically saying, like, he's not ready, or there's somebody playing his position, or we're not putting all our faith in the 18-year-old kid or
what did I
all
just
this
say?
hype
I didn't
we've
even
been
watch this
here,
video.
all this, So my own teammates that I had to like be on the floor with, practicing with, on the planes with, in the locker room, in game situations was kind of, just had this kind of, like you say, you won't say hate, but just like animosity, like towards me and what I could provide. And I didn't even come in with that. I came in with the narrative, but I didn't come in with that type of aura. I just wanted to come in and learn from the vets and then put the work.
I understand what he's saying there. He's saying that he came in with the hype, but he didn't come in with the accolades that she's coming in with. Because LeBron has none of those. Those college accolades, that's another level added on to who that woman is. Caitlin Clark, that is.
And so I think for my advice to Caitlin, and my advice to anyone that comes in with this, this level of like notoriety, out of this world expectation, whatever the case may be, I just think it's all about having, be a horse, man. The Kentucky Derby, put your blinders on, go to work, show up to work, punch your clock in, prepare yourself, work on your game, work on your craft, kind of keep your mouth shut, and just learn from the vets. When they ask, you voice your opinion if they want your opinion, man, early on, because everybody is looking for you to say anything and they're going to splice it and cut it and make it a negative thing. And I think for her, the one thing that I love that she's bringing to her sport, more people want to watch. More people want to tune in. I saw for the first time that they had a chartered plane for the first time in their league history. They flew private. That should be celebrated in its own right. For anyone that's, in sports that's flown commercial or flown, charter, that should be celebrated. And it's because of Caitlin Clark. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it fucked up. Caitlin Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA. But for her individually, I don't think she should get involved on nothing that's being said. Just go have fun, enjoy. People need to realize the Indiana Fever, this is the second year in a row they had the number one pick. So do y'all know what that means? That means they're not that good. They had back-to-back years as the number one pick.
Why are you a hater on the Fever, man?
I am a realist. Because not only I get people are just crazy about why she should be doing this and they should be doing that. If she's so great, this team, it's still a team.
I remember when the Chicago Bulls picked up Michael Jordan, number 3. And they were like, what is he really going to do? I think Hakeem Olajuwon is better. Sam Bowie. Remember him? Of course you don't. Us old heads do. But of course y'all don't. Sam Bowie was number 2 drafted in the league that year in 1984. Picked over Jordan. Because they had Clyde Drexler already. Right? Even that story about Michael Jordan. Portland Trail Blazers called Bobby Knight and asked him, who should we draft? He said, draft Michael Jordan. We already have a shooting guard. We need a center. Then draft Michael Jordan and put him at center, is what he said. Bobby Knight is not one to scream accolades and joy about a player. If Bobby Knight tells you draft somebody, because that dude is no joke, you might have wanted to listen to him. But they drafted Sam Bowie anyway, and now look at him. Having won a championship since 1977, 47 years now. Bill Walton was the player, as a matter of fact. The thing that we have to understand is the Indiana Fever is not that good. She's now the player everybody's aiming for because they know she's that good. She's going to be that good. Right now, she's a rookie. What rookie, other than Magic Johnson that you know of, and Larry Bird that you know of, literally walked into the major league of their sport and just crushed, killed, destroyed, and won chips? Who? Name them. Not a lot. There's not a lot. Maybe Derek Jeter. There's not a lot. Not even the great Michael Jordan did that.
People, it is still a team game. And, but I'm rooting for Caitlin because I've been in that seat before. I've walked that road before. I hope she kills. I hope Aaliyah Boston does amazing. I hope they do great. I'm just kind of in this mode right now because I'm getting the same, thing from watching my son, who's a 19-year-old, kind of getting a lot of animosity and hatred towards him when...
Pause. Reason why your son is getting hatred and animosity is because you are using your power in the NBA to force your son to get drafted. As a matter of fact, we're talking about privilege. Your son is privileged in what he's getting. Now, don't get it twisted. 40-inch vertical at 6'1" is crazy. You want to know who has that? That's Ja Morant type stuff right there. He only averaged 5 points a game partly because he was out for a lot of time when he was playing in college because he suffered cardiac arrest. His heart stopped. And they were in fear of what it was that was going on with him and all this other stuff. So they kept him out of practice and in games for a while. So of course it took him a little bit to get himself into the groove of stuff. I'm not saying he lacks talent because I've watched the young man play too. He's got skills, but he has not earned his place as to being somebody that could potentially get drafted at all. Not even first round. He shouldn't even be getting drafted second round based on his numbers and based on the level of stress that his body went through just preparing for college. I'm not saying he's not going to be good. I'm not saying he's not nice. All I'm saying is that the reason why your son, LeBron, is getting all this hate is because he is privileged. He literally has your name. LeBron James Jr. If he gets drafted, understand the name on the back of his jersey will say James Jr. because they already know that wherever he goes, you are going to. His ain't even going to just say James on it. His is going to say James Jr. on it. Because you've leveraged yourself to wherever your son gets drafted, you're going. You said it yourself. Because you want to play with your son. To do something that has never been done in NBA history. Can it be done? It'll be nice to see. Especially if your son is talented. But just know that's why your son is getting the hate. Caitlin Clark is getting hate for a whole different other reason. And it's unfounded and it's unwarranted. And it's undeserved.
He's just a kid trying to live out his dream.
No. He's a kid trying to live out his dream with his dad who's trying to live out his dream. Make that connection. Fix the narrative. Say it properly. We're going to be fair here.
There's a very small number of men and women that actually get to live out their dream of playing a professional sport. And we have grown-ass men and women out here doing whatever they can to try to make sure that does not happen.
Okay. So what he's talking about is commentators, pundits, sportscasters, journalists, right? For one, I don't want to hear that narrative about Caitlin Clark. I don't. LeBron James Jr., feel free. He has not earned his place yet. If he gets to the NBA and he shows out, consider us flabbergasted. But as of right now, he has not earned that spot. But I'm going to move on. Because Diana Taurasi had something to say.
And you said that Caitlin is going to go through a learning curve. Some people were critical of you for saying that, but I don't know that it necessarily meant that you're not welcoming to her, right? I mean, how do you I mean, it seems like you were just saying the reality is she's going to have a learning curve.
Yeah, you know, it's the new fans. They're really sensitive these days. You can't say anything. Yeah, you know, it's kind of like when you go from kindergarten to first grade, there's a learning adjustment. When you go from high school to college, there's a learning adjustment. You know, I don't think I said anything that wasn't factually correct. And like anything, greatness is going to translate. And she's proven that in every level. And I don't see it being any different in the WNBA.
Okay. I want to see. So, I'm going to read what she said. Reality is coming. You look superhuman playing against some 18-year-olds, but you're going to come play with some grown women that have been playing professional basketball for a long time. Yes, you look superhuman playing. She looks... No, I wouldn't say she looks superhuman. She looks metahuman playing against a bunch of 18-year-olds. But even then, when she played against the cream of the crop in the NCAA, she lost. Both times that she was in the tournament, she lost. Not saying it in a hated raid type of way, it's just a fact. She lost. She lost to Angel Reese, and then she lost to Cardozo. I don't remember her first name. But she lost to both of them. So now, she's in the WNBA. Literally fresh out of college. She's going to run into some grown-ass women that are going to turn around and make her work. And she's going to have to build her... She's going to have to... When the season is over in, I believe, September... She's going to have a long off season to rest and get to work and build her body and hone in her game to such a level and degree that maybe, just maybe, she might become metahuman against grown-ass women. I think it's coming. I don't think it's coming very soon. I'll eat my hat if I'm wrong. But I believe she's showing that she's showing flashes of brilliance right now. You're seeing it. Now, when she gets all into the nuances and starts working on the game, and when they start developing plays for her to where she's going to be more competent, because I know they're beating her up on defense. Ooh, oh my God, on defense, they're beating her up. They're killing on these pick and rolls, right? That's fine. She's going to have to body up, get a little bigger, get a little bit stronger, and play the game. But one of the things that I'm not going to sit here and do is allow everybody, both white and black, and any other race, to make this about race. Legitimately make it about race. I brought up race because race has been brought up around me, but I personally do not see anything racial about Caitlin Clark. I honestly don't. Because she keeps her head down, she keeps her mouth shut for the most part. She's humbly entering the WNBA. I haven't seen her talking trash to anybody yet. We'll see. Maybe she will. Maybe she has. But even within that, I don't think anybody really has talked trash to her either. I don't think anybody wants to light that bear either. But wait, we'll see. And we'll hear the stories of Candace Parker. We hear the stories of Cynthia Cooper. We hear the stories of Cheryl Swoops and Tina Thompson, Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird going at each other. We saw it all. If you watched the WNBA in the last 27 years, you saw it. So I'm going to land this plane. I want everybody to understand something. You have people trying their best to make every single thing when a black and a white person comes through to be about race. And some of the hate, some of the vitriol is about because she's white. I don't like it. If it is racial, legitimately racial, I'll be the first one to look you in the eye on this camera and tell you it is. If this young lady has not earned all that she has earned, I'll be the first one to tell you she didn't earn it. And it might be because she's white, but it's not. That woman has earned everything she's got. Like I told you, my little brother and I saw her. I don't even think she made it to college yet. I think she was in high school when we first saw her. And we were like, ooh, this is a white Steph Curry. This is a white girl Steph Curry. Back then, this is like 5-6 years ago. Ooh, I wonder where she's going to go to college. If she goes to Connecticut, it's a wrap. That's what we were thinking. She decided to stay in Iowa or go to Iowa. I don't even know where the woman's from, to be honest with you. I don't even know much about this woman. Let's look. Where is she from? She's born in Des Moines, Iowa, so she stayed home. She's a hometown athlete in Iowa. She's now a god in Iowa, right? Went to West Des Moines, Iowa. And she was shooting the lights out there. So, I just want y'all to understand something. If you have enjoyed what you've watched so far, do me a favor. Put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the comment section if you are watching this after this is gone to syndication, so to speak. Haha. Go ahead and put a 1 in the comments if you enjoyed what you watched. Go ahead and click the like button on the way out because it helps my algorithm. It helps more people see this show. It helps more people view my channel as well. Also, do me a favor. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, follow me, Julien Stoutt on Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube. Have a nice day. Be the best you. Class is Stoutt.